ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपादं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्म पादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Hari Om. Salutations to all. So in the Sambandha Bhashya in Mandukya Upanishad, the Agama Prakarana, we saw that Shankaracharya ji gave an introduction and then described also the four prakaranas, what are the important aspects of each of the prakaranas. And the main theme of the Upanishad being Omkar, we were on that second last paragraph where he says, Katham punar omkar nirnaya atma tattva pratipatti upayatvam pratipadyata iti uchyate. How is it that by determining the understanding, the meaning, the significance of Omkar, will one realize the Atma Tattva? Hence, that is being explained. So he quotes about 5 or 6 Upanishads which bring out the glory of Omkar. All of us know that this Omkar is the subtlest sound symbol of the Supreme Truth. Om iti ekaksharam Brahma. And so many Upanishads have brought out the glory of Omkar. Here just a few are quoted to support the fact that by determining the deeper import of Om, one will be able to realize the Atma, because Om is Atma. Om is not just a sound. So he quoted first Om ityetat from the Kathopanishad, and we had seen the whole context, so I won't go into that. That how Yamraj gives this knowledge to Nachiketa, when Nachiketa is very clear and has is full of vairagya, he rejects everything that Yamraj has offered to him in lieu of self-knowledge. He says, I don't want any of that, and I don't even want theory. He says that Anyatra dharmat, anyatra dharmat, anyatra asmat, kritat kritat, anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha yat tat pashyasi tadvada. So what is beyond the past and the present, cause and the effect, dharma and adharma, You tell me that absolute truth. Don't give me theories, don't give me any temptations. I want only self knowledge. So when he expressed that so clearly, then Yamaraj gives him the knowledge first through revelation of Omkar. So that's where it is Om Ityetat. So Omkar can be understood in two levels. One, so Om Ityetat indicates the absolute state, the state of pure consciousness, where Om is Atma, Om is Brahman, Om is Sachidananda. If the mind is not ready for that, then it needs to be made purified, single pointed, subtle. Then the next step will be this Etadalambanam. Again, that is in the Kathopanishad itself. Earlier mantra is 15, 1.2.15. Next one is 1.2.17. Etadalambanam shreshtam, etadalambanam param. Etadalambanam jnatva yo yadichasi tasya tat. It goes on to say that whatever one desires will get fulfilled. Holding on to this alamban. So there Om is a support for the mind to become quiet. Using the sound when one says Om. And there's nothing wrong in saying Om. Because A and U together become O. So it's not that it is wrong pronunciation. And one should always say Om. We don't say like that. If somebody wants to say it that way, let them do. But a word, when it is there, where the mixture has happened or sandhi has happened, we don't necessarily always split and say. We will say it as with the sandhi itself. So, u, ma. Maybe, so those are the three alphabets. No doubt, but A plus U becomes O. So if you say Om, you're not wrong. So those people whose mind is not yet ready to consider Om as the state of Atma, as the self, illumining this BMI as well as the substratum of the whole world, then will use Omkaram as the Alamban. Etad Alambanam. Alamban means a support. Like how the form of Bhagwan is a support, or a chakra is a support, or some visualization here is a support, or the breath is a support. All these are supports. Alamban. And support for what? Holding on to this, all other thoughts one puts aside. Finally, this will also go. This is the last support. So using this Omkar, when one is chanting Om, first the mind is made quiet. Then with that quiet mind one contemplates. Om is all that the Upanishad will explain. Akara, Ukara, Makara, what does it represent? And I negate all these and I come to realize the Atma. The laya of A will happen in U will happen in Ma will happen in silence. That's the prakriya. That will come in the Upanishad, so I won't elaborate now. We will see as we go along. So this is Alambanam. Om ityetad and etad Alambanam. So one can chant Om as an Alamban to make the mind quiet, but that's only a support. We should remember that. And also, I said this before, but again I am repeating. One should not use Omkar because one feels that all the other forms are illusory. I don't believe in Sagun Sakar Upasana. I just believe in sound. So I chant Om, make my mind quiet. What is my understanding of Om? That has to be clear. It's not just simple some sound. That one can take any sound, but the Omkar is not an ordinary sound. It is the source of all the sounds. And also it is the indicator of the Supreme. Etadalambanam shreshtham etadalambanam param is what the Upanishad says. It is the supreme alamban. Why is it supreme alamban? Because it indicates the supreme. So if I don't have clarity about the understanding of Bhagavan, Ishvara, totality, samashti, whatever name you call God, and I feel ki no, these are all the other forms which are created, they are all illusory, they don't even exist, they are human created. I just chant Om. Om cannot be used to negate Ishvara. Om is that which proves Ishvara. There are many people who use Om only for that. And then they just want to concentrate. No, Omkar is Parabrahma only. Is the supreme sound symbol of the supreme truth. Tasya Vachaka Pranavaha, even the Yoga Sutras will say. It is the indicator of that supreme truth. It is consciousness which pervades everything. You know, Pranava itself means that. Pranava means that which pervades all the beings. As what? As consciousness, as the changeless truth. So Om is not just a sound to make the mind concentrated. Om is the sound indicating the supreme. So with that bhav one has to chant Om. Even just chant Om, 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 Om. After some time mind will start wandering only. Because the point is to surrender the ego. So when one chants Om, one drops the Jiva Bhav. I am not the Jiva. That's what the Vedantic contemplation is. So if I am not ready to contemplate saying I am Brahman, no problem. As an alamban, when one says Om, one remembers it indicates the Supreme. I surrender to that Supreme. So every time one is chanting Om, then one is having this bhav that I surrender to Bhagavan, I surrender to Ishvara. Ishvara alone is the truth. This whole Srishti is appearance of that one Ishvara. So that understanding is very important. It is not simply mechanical chanting. It is understanding and bringing that into practice by surrendering. How for a devotee, when one remembers Sagun Sakar Rupa Bhagavan, there is a bhav that arises of bhakti, of love for Bhagavan. Horripulations will happen. Listening to the name of Bhagavan, one goes into ecstasy. That should happen for Omkar. Then that means I am on the right path. If I'm just chanting mechanically Om, 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 maybe it's a good beginning, but it can't continue further if only that much we do. One has to study, one has to have the bhav, and then that surrender has to happen. Which is why it is the subtlest sadhana. And to benefit from that, the Upanishad itself says that people do a lot of tapasya, live in brahmacharya, and prepare oneself, then they are able to have that bhav. Yadichanto brahmacharyam charanti tatte padam sangrahena pravakshe is what Yamraj tells Nachiketa. Yadichanto brahmacharyam charanti. People live in self-control. People do. They have great vairagya. Then they live in great tapasya. To align the body, mind, intellect. And then to surrender. So that is this. Etadalambanam shreshtham etadalambanam param. So Kathopanishad, two quotations he gave. Then he comes to Etadvai Satyakama. This is from Prashnopanishad. So in Prashnopanishad, there is the question that Satyakama has asked. Who is this Satyakama? He is the son of Shibi. And he asked the question to Pipalada Rishi. And what is the question? That, O Bhagavan, to what world does he go who among men meditates on Om until his death? Meaning one has not realized the truth yet, but is continuously meditating on Om. Then to which world will this person go? So there Pipalada Rishi replies to him that the symbol Om is representing both Parabrahma and Aparabrahma. Etadvai Satyakama Param cha Aparam cha Brahma Yad Omkaraha. That is what is quoted here. So when he says Etadvai Satyakama, that second mantra is what is quoted. The 5th chapter, second mantra of the Prashnopanishad, which is the answer. That what is the answer? Param cha Aparam cha Brahma Yad Omkaraha. Tasmad Vidwan Etenaiva Ayatanena Ekataram Anveti. So what is this Parabrahma and Aparabrahma? So Parabrahma is infinite consciousness where there is only one absolute truth. Aparabrahma is that same consciousness appearing as Jiva Jagat Jagadishwara. And so he says here that one who is doing, so Parabrahma if one meditates upon will attain the absolute truth only here itself. But if one has not realized the truth yet and one is doing upasana, then he gives the result depending on what is the bhavana of the seeker while contemplating on Om or while doing upasana of Om. If one is doing contemplation straight away on that absolute truth and one did not realize, one is not doing upasana, one is doing nididhyasan, contemplation on Omkar as Parabrahman, as one's own Atma. Then of course that person will attain Krama Mukti, what we say. Goes to Brahmalok, Brahmaji gives knowledge, realizes the truth. But if somebody is doing upasana of Omkar, then he says this, that if one meditates on one matra of Om, which is U, Ma, 3 matras, and then there is the silence after Ma before the next Om starts. So that is called Amatra, the fourth, so-called fourth. So he says here that those who meditate on Akara, what happens? One matra, then that person is still doing upasana. What is that upasana? We will see as the mantras go, or even the Mandukya Upanishad will explain that. One sees the whole Srishti as the appearance of the divine, and one drops one's ahankar as the waker. One identifies with the totality. If that is the bhav, that all this is me, that upasana that person is doing, then that person will realize that person will again come back, is what is said here, will come back to the earth again. Tam richo manushya lokam upanayante. And the devatas of the Rig Veda ensure that this jiva comes back into human form to continue the sadhana. Will not go to any other loka, any other species. Because intensely one is seeing this whole Srishti is one, and one has dropped this waking ego identification. One is saying there is only Virat, that totality. Again remember, this is upasana level. So if one is doing this upasana that I am one with this whole thing, there is no one individuality here. Then he says that jiva will not go to any other lokas, any other species, will quickly come back to earth. Enlightened by that, quickly comes back to earth, and the Rig Devatas lead him into the world of men immediately, and they have these qualities. Satatra tapasa brahmacharyena shraddhaya sampanno mahimanam anubhavanti. Because they are endowed with austerity, with this brahmacharya, celibacy, and with shraddha, there they continue the sadhana. and attain greatness, meaning attain final truth. If they are meditating on two, akara and ukara, meaning they identify with not only this whole virat, but also with the total mind, then what happens? They go to somaloka, becomes united after death. This is, please remember, all this is after death which is happening, because they did all this upasana but they didn't realize the truth, they dropped the body. So then they go to this somaloka, and the devata of Yajurveda will lead them to the Somaloka, and having enjoyed there the world of Soma, is guided back again into the world of humans and realize the truth. Continue the sadhana to realize the truth. And if they meditate with all the three, they say that this waker entity is illusory, dream entity is also illusory, deep sleeper entity also is illusory. There is only one supreme Ishvara, nothing else. Please remember, this is not only intellectual information, this is the mind lives in that higher level of awareness where the differences psychologically are not there. Functionally, obviously, one will see through the senses that you can't dismiss, except in samadhi, but that also is for a short while. But psychological differences they remove and they live with the attitude of oneness. And so he says that if this person is meditating on the highest Purusha with the help of the three matras, then becomes freed from all the sins, like how the snake is freed from its own skin. How the snake leaves the old skin and just wriggles out. Like that, this person drops all the finitude, all the papa, all the jiva bhav, and the Samaveda mantra devatas will take this person to Brahmaloka, because identifying with Supreme Ishvara, and there he realizes the truth in one's own heart. So that way, this mantra, this Prashnopanishad also gives about the upasana of Omkar as Apara Brahma. If you do, these are the results. And if you contemplate on Omkar as the self and realize the truth, then here and now one has experienced infinity. So that is this one, Etadvai Satya Kama. Then Om iti Atmanam Yunjita is Maitri Upanishad 6.3. In this, it is also said how Omkara can be as per one's bhavana. Sthula Sukshma Karana. One can meditate on Om in any of these ways. Sthula is one just says, chants the word, the mantra gross, Om, only focus on that. Sukshma is one is not chanting loudly, one is chanting it in the mind, manasik. Karana is where one is contemplating on the state that this Om indicates, which is the Atma. And last is the Samadhi. Because of this steady contemplation, one will come to realize the Absolute, which is the Turiya state. So depending on what bhavana one is having, one will attain the result. So now, having said that, then Taittiriya Upanishad says, Om iti Brahma. Om iti Brahma, Om iti idagam sarvam. Like that, it will explain that Om is all this. So Om is not only the Atma enlivening this BMI, Om is the substratum of all this. That's why it says Om iti Brahma. Earlier it was spoken about as the Atma. Om iti Atmanam Yunjita. Maitreya Upanishad says, understand Om as your Atma. And this says Om iti Brahma. Om is Brahman. So Atma and Brahman are same. That same truth enlivening this one BMI is the changeless truth, which is the substratum of the whole universe. So Om iti Brahma, Taittiriya Upanishad goes on to explain that. And having given these quotations, Omkara eva idam sarvam. One more he has given, which is from the Chandogya Upanishad, that Omkar is all this. In what way Omkar is all this? This whole world is names and forms. And all these names, they come from language. This language has so many alphabets. All the alphabets are nothing but modification of akara. A in different forms appears as all the other alphabets. In that same way, one absolute truth only appears as all these names and forms. So, this Omkareva idam sarvam, see in Sanskrit especially, the conjunct consonant, not conjunct, what is that? Consonants. The consonants they can't be used on their own. One has to add a vowel to it. So, ka is k plus a. It is in Hindi we just write ka full. But in Sanskrit it is ka with halant, and then you add a, then it becomes ka. If you add a, it will become ka. Then you add e, then it becomes ki. So all the vowels u, they all are actually expressions of a in different ways. And that's why it says akaro vai sarva vak. Akara is, all speech is nothing but modification of this a. Because all vowels are modifications of akara in different ways, and then that vowels are added to all the consonants. Ka, kha, ga, gha, ang. To that we have added a everywhere. That's why we say ka, kha, ga, gha, ang. Otherwise it will be k, kh, g, gh, ng. No vowel is added. Like when we say vak, in that ka is half. It is halant. There is no a there. Otherwise it will be vaka. Like when we say Rama, it's not Ram. In Hindi they say Ram. Rama. It is R plus A plus M plus A. 4. Then it becomes Rama. So in that way, consonants have vowels added to it. Then they are complete. And all vowels are modifications of A. And hence, the Upanishad says, this is again an upasana, that how akara is all speech, in that way consciousness is all this. So omkara eva idam sarvam ityadi shrutibhyaha. Like this, there are many shrutis that explain about omkar. Shankaracharya ji has given only a few quotations here. Mundaka Upanishad also speaks about it. Pranavo dhanusharo hi atma brahmatal laksham uchyate apramattena vedhavyam sharavattanmayo bhavet. Like that, many Upanishads speak about the glory of Omkar. Why has he quoted all these here? Just to make us understand that yes, by determination of the significance of Om, one will come to realize the Atma. So it's not just the Mandukya Upanishad. It is many Upanishads which speak about Om. And in fact, Om is also there in some of the other religions, in that sense. That when we say in Sikhism, they have Ikonkar. So, importance of Om, just to understand, Shankaracharya has given this here. Then he goes on to say that just like the snake is superimposed and it is seen, the rope is seen as the snake. Rajju Sarpavad, Rajvadi Riva, Sarpadi, Vikalpa, Asya, Aspado, Advaya Atma, Paramartha. So just like this substratum is the rope and the snake is a projection on it, in that same way, this Atma is the substratum. Everything else is only a superimposition. It's only a vikara. That's what he's saying here. Vikalp san pranadi vikalpa asya aspado yatha tatha sarvopi vak prapanchah pranadi atma vikalpa vishaya omkara eva. And that substratum is omkar only. Like how the different items made from pot, from the clay, pot, pitcher, cup, saucer, plate, you may call different names, but actually what is it? It is only clay. Functionally we have given certain uh, name for classification, for distinction, so that we know, okay, this is called a pot, so we use it to fill water or whatever, curd, milk, anything. This is called a plate, so we use to eat food, cut some vegetables, whatever that may be. So it has some functional utility, functional differences, but actually what is it? It is only clay. If you say all this is clay, that is also truth. If we say that pot, pitcher, cup, saucer, plate, they all exist, they are different from each other. At a relative plane, functionally, yes, they are different from each other. So that statement is also true. But if one says, ki, no, this pot, pitcher, cup, saucer, plate, everything exists on its own, there is nothing called clay, that is wrong. Because it is clay appearing in all these forms and we forget the clay. Now we get stuck with, oh, this is a yellow color pot, that is a blue color plate, this is a red color pitcher. Then we are stuck. So Shankaracharya says that this whole Srishti is just one appearance. That's the Siddhanta of Advaita. So what is the definition of Vikalpa? Very interesting it is. Shabda Jnananupati Vastu Shunyo Vikalpaha. Very beautiful. Shabda Jnana Anupati Vastu Shunyo Vikalpaha. Then Vastu is not there. It is only Shabda. There is nothing actually called pot. Pot is only Shabda. Is only word. What is there is actually only clay. You are calling clay as pot, calling clay as cup, calling clay as pitcher. Does pot, cup and pitcher have independent existence of clay? No. That's why the definition given is that is Yoga Darshan. From Yoga Shastra this definition has come. Shabda Jnanan Anupati Vastu Shunyo Vikalpaha. It is one, but is appearing as many or not? Is clay only. But it is appearing as, oh, there is cup also, there are 100 cups and 20 pitchers and 50 saucers and 10 plates. Oh, so many. It is all clay only. Just that we have given a functional name, convenience, that's about it. Same way this whole Srishti appears so tangible, real, and so much of variety and multiplicity and diversity and all that. But actually it is only one appearance, like the whole dream. The entire dream world appears so real and so each item is different from the other, but actually the whole thing is projection of one dream creator's mind, that's all. But identified with one dream character, we think that I am only this. We forget the dream creator. And then even question, where is the dream creator? Who is the dream creator? There is no dream creator. So that way here, that's why he has quoted this, the word Vikalpa that Shankaracharya has used. Vikalpa has this two meanings. Vikalpa means Vividha Kalpana. Different types of projections, imaginations. Vividha Kalpana. Or Viparita Kalpana. Opposite. You can take both meanings, they will apply here. Viparita Kalpana means to think of it as opposite. So I don't see the rope and I see snake, then that is Viparit Kalpana. And that same rope is appearing as snake to somebody, garland to somebody, stick on the earth to somebody, crack it to somebody. That is Vivida Kalpana. Same substratum is appearing as different things to different people. Same way, the same Srishti is one pure consciousness. To an enlightened person, the Srishti is Brahman alone. To the unenlightened one, this appears very real. And now there's raga and dvesha and sukha and dukkha and karma and then cycle of birth and death and all that is going on. Why? Only because I don't know what is the substratum. And that substratum is I. That is the main point of Vedanta. I am that substratum which is appearing as all this. So why am I getting trapped, caught up? Because I've forgotten that I am the substratum and the superimposition is not there, it's an illusion. Waker is lying on the bed, has forgotten that I am the waker. Now got identified with dream character and going through all the dream sorrows. The solution is wake up to know the truth. So that's what he says here, that this is called vikalpa. And so, sacha atma rupameva tad abhidhaya katvat. Now a very important point he brings here, that this Om is not just the sound. See, the Nam and the Nami are one. That's what this line means. That Atma Rupam eva tad abhidhaya katvat. Om is the pointer indicating to the Atma, no doubt. But please understand, even in Bhakti Shastra, it will be said this only, that Nam and the Nami are not different. Suppose you say Ram. The word Ram and the form of Bhagwan Ram at a superficial level appear different. Because the name you can change anytime. So Bhagwan Ram also will have a Ashtotra Shatanamavali. So 108 names will be there. But the person is one. So one thinks that name is different and the named is different. But actually the name is indicating the named, the person. Otherwise the name has no use. And also the name is the manifestation of the divine in that form, in that verbal form. So Nam and the Nami are not different. In the world we have created difference at a superficial level. So Shabda, Pratyaya and Vastu, for us they three appear as very different. Shabda is the sound, Pratyaya is the image that is there in my mind, and then the Vastu is the actual Vastu. So suppose I say cow. Cow is the Shabda. Now an image of cow will come in my mind. Let us say black color cow. Then there is a cow out there. Vastu. So at a superficial level, these three appear different. And yes, there is a difference. But again, that's at a very transactional level. If you actually go deeper into it, there is no difference at all, which is what science also is saying now. At subatomic level, there is only one common field of energy. There is no boundary. We have created a boundary. I am from this to the tip of the head to the whatever, to my toes. This is me. That we have created. Our senses and our mind limitation. Otherwise, one common vast field. That's it. Same way Vedanta is saying this, that Omkar is all this. No, but there are so many gross things, subtle things, they all are different appearances, that's all. So when one says Om as a sound, Shabda, Om as a Pratyaya, what it conveys to me in my mind, and Om as the truth, they all are same. The same truth is what I am saying as sound, is what is appearing in my mind also. There is no difference. Like the dream character sees, let us say, the same example of cow. In the dream, I am saying the word cow. I am having a thought in my mind in the dream about the cow, and then I'm actually seeing the cow. All this is appearance of what? One consciousness alone, which is that waker. Waker's mind became the dream creator and created all this. It is only one. But if I don't see it from that standpoint, then I will see differences. Then I will say cow is different, I am different. Array, you as a human being and that as a cow, at a functional level, at a body level, yes, this body is different from cow's body. But what is the tattva? What is the essence? The essence is that there is only one waker's mind which is appearing as all this. That one has forgotten. Like the clay, one has forgotten. See, the clay example is more easy because there I am standing separately out and I am seeing pot, pitcher, cup, saucer all made from clay. It's very easy to understand that. Here I am involved in it. This Mr. So and so itself is a part of this. So this Mr. So and so, which I am thinking is I as a jiva, Vedanta is saying no, that is also appearance of consciousness only. And that consciousness is what is indicated by Omkar. So Nam and the Nami are one. In Bhakti Shastra, it will say you keep on chanting the Nam. The power of the name will bring the person to you. If you read Tulsi Ramayana, that power of Bhagwan's name is described so beautifully. And in Hindi, they have colloquially that saying also, no, Prabhu se bada Prabhu ka naam. Because Bhagwan took form for a short while, but the name has helped so many people to cross over. Bhagwan went through so many difficulties, but the name doesn't go through any difficulties. Like that, there are many things that, Tulsidas ji has written there to say that the name has so much power. Ratnakar transformed just by chanting the name, that too in a reverse way. Mara, 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 he kept chanting, and then mind got purified, and then that's also the power of Naradji who initiated him into the mantra. We should not forget that. It is the Guru Samarthya also, and the disciple also was eligible and ready. And the name of Bhagwan, all the three, when he transformed. So the name is very, very powerful. And the name and the named are one at a deeper level. And if one operates from that deeper level, then there is nothing that one will see as different from the Supreme. Which is what he is saying here, that Omkara Vikara Shabda Abhidheyascha Sarvaha Pranadi Atma Vikalpo Abhidhana Vyati Rekena Nasti. All this body, prana, senses, mind, intellect, all this which we see as different, is nothing but different imaginations, appearances of the one truth only. And so he has now quoted one very famous line from the Chandogya Upanishad, Vacharambanam Vikaro Namadheyam. Actually, the full line is Vacharambanam Vikaro Namadheyam Mrittika iti eva Satyam. The context there is that clay alone is the truth. Everything else is only vikar, is a modification of speech. Vacharambhanam. Vacha arambhanam. It is only a modification of the speech to say that this is cup, that is pitcher, this is saucer, this is plate. It is only in word, it's only in sound. But what is the essence? Mrittika iti eva satyam. Mrittika, this clay alone is the truth. And so when one understands this, that vikara is just nama matra. So he says vacharambhanam vikaraha. It's a modification of speech. I may say this is a earring, this is a bangle, that is a necklace, this is a whatever, toe ring, that is a nose ring, is all gold only. I am calling it in different ways, different words, different functional utility it may have, but actually the essence is it is only gold. So in that same way, all this, when one understands, then the bhav is what? There is only one truth. Mritika iti eva satyam. And so functionally, yes, we may have different utility values for different things that nobody is denying. It's not that we can use anything for anything. No. What can be done with a particular thing can't be done with something else. So that functional differences we respect, and one has to understand and have the clarity that this is a utility value, this is a different thing at a functional level. But what we have done is psychologically we start discriminating. Now that is where the exploitation will start, attachments, aversions, all that will start. So I as a human being and cow as a animal. Now how much violence goes on happening? Because one sees difference. One sees, somebody sees it as holy, somebody sees it as a, food, somebody sees it as a means to hurt religious sentiments of Hindus. It goes on. Because one has forgotten the essence. Our nature is consciousness that one has forgotten. There is nothing more inclusive than that. To see everything as one infinite consciousness is the Vedanta is most inclusive. There's nothing can be more inclusive than that, because Vedanta says even inert thing and you are same. Because consciousness is same in both. Just that you have a subtle body, that doesn't have a subtle body. But existence, Sat, is there in both. In fact, Sat is Chit and Chit is Anand. All the three are same. But only that the stone doesn't have a subtle body. So it is not able to express life as you and I express. Otherwise, there is no difference. If that is known very clearly, another example that Shankaracharya has given here is Tasya idam vacha tantya namabhir damabhihi sarvam sitam. Sitam means stitched. Just like the cloth is nothing but so many different threads put together, stitched. Cloth is stitched. So in that cloth, there may be some scenery which has been made, let us say. So there's a mountain and there's some sun and there is some farmer and there's some field and the tree and the bird and the bullock drawn, embroidered nicely. But actually what is it? All threads only. There's nothing except thread. Thread is holding the whole thing together. In the same way, what is holding all this Srishti together is one consciousness. That one has forgotten. And hence, when we say I am a human, that is, even in a human, then there is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, all these are differences at a functional level meant for understanding each other and living accordingly in harmony. But the basis of that harmony will be the vision of oneness, that we all are one. Like this whole body, Gurudev always gave that example. His whole body, each part is different from the other, but our bhav is I am this. Then we don't discriminate, oh, this hand, left hand is superior, right hand is inferior. No. Both are my hands only. No, head is subtler and feet is grosser. No, both are me. So if that vision of oneness is there, then differences are not a problem. People today, what we are trying to do, we are trying to remove differences and bring equality. How can you remove differences and bring equality? Equality is in the vision. And then it will manifest in action, where there will be no exploitation. Both men and women treated equally means what? Not that what men will do, women can do, what women can do, men will do. Not like that. To think that one gender is superior to the other is exploitation. That is wrong. Both are equal. both have equal opportunities, both to be loved and respected equally. That is equality when we see oneness. But you can't make a man into a woman, woman into man, and tell them both you can do everything. You can't. Each one has their own uniqueness. Each one has their own specialities. Each one will function in their own way. And no one is superior, no one is inferior. That clarity is what Vedant will bring, that we all are one ultimately. Even at the BMI level, we are made up of 5 elements. Even at the Atma level, we are made up of one consciousness. It is one thing that stitches us together, whichever level you see. That vision of oneness is what it is. Hence, he says here, Sarvam hi idam namani ityadi shrutibhyaha. All this is finally only name. Different names for different things which are there in this world. And they have their own functional differences, but otherwise they are actually one truth. So this is where the Sambandha Bhashya concludes. And now what he has explained in Sambandha Bhashya in brief, the mantra will elaborate. The Upanishad mantras will elaborate, 12 mantras, and then those are elaborated by the Karikas of Gaudapada Acharya ji. So today we will enter the first mantra. Om iti etadaksharamidagam sarvam tasyopavyakyanam bhutam bhavat bhavishyaditi sarvamonkara eva yat chanyat trikalatītam tadapi onkara eva. Om iti etad aksharam idam. This akshara, Om, is all this. Om iti etad aksharam idam sarvam. All this. So when one listens to this, all this is Omkar. If one is not having a background, one will get confused. One will understand what is, how can all this be Omkar? Then he goes on to say, Tasya upavyakyanam. This line is now elaborated, explained, that how is Om all this? If one thinks that Om is all this, what is seen, then the mantra clarifies, no, not only what is seen. Bhutam, Bhavishyad and Bhavat. Bhutam, Bhavat, Bhavishyad. Past, present, future. What was also Omkar. What is also is only Omkar. And what will be also Omkar only. Acha, Omkar is all this. That itself is not easy to understand. Then Omkar was, whatever was Omkar. Whatever is Omkar. Whatever will be also is Omkar. Bhutam bhavat bhavishyaditi. Sarvam Omkara eva. All this is Omkar. I am seeing TV, I am seeing computer, I am seeing book, I am seeing this. All this is Omkar. How this is Omkar? So one who has not had the background, definitely there will be confusion. How can you say all this is Omkar? What was, what is, what will be is only Omkar. And if this was not enough, if a student thinks that all this past, present, future, meaning anything conditioned by time is Omkar, Upanishad goes one more step ahead to say that Yaccha Anyat Trikala Titam Tadapi Omkareva. And whatever is which is beyond this realm of time, past, present, future, that also is Omkar only. Meaning the changeless is also Omkar, the changing is also Omkar. Eternal is Omkar, time bound is also Omkar. Past, present, future, whatever was, is, will be, is also Omkar, and whatever never got created, that also is Omkar. This is the first mantra. And so here, Gurudev has given very nice explanation, and we want to share that. You should read the commentary of this mantra, Gurudev's commentary. So this is the mantra. He says here, to the uninitiated and to the drawing room readers, these opening words of the Upanishad should read almost scandalously absurd because of the very abruptness of its declaration. The declaration in itself is indeed quite revolutionizing, and much more so do they read strange and terrible because of the suddenness of the truth blast in the declaration. But as I said earlier, we must always remember that every Shruti is an eternally living conversation between a master and a disciple. Such a nice line. Shruti means the Veda or the Upanishad here. Is a conversation between a master and a disciple. Eternally living conversation. Eternally living meaning what? See, this mantra you and I are learning even now. And so many generations of seekers have learned this, contemplated, and come to realize the truth. So it has revealed at a particular point in time, but it is eternal. That is one meaning. And second meaning is also this, that really speaking, the Guru is also inside only. The inner Guru manifests as a Guru outside to lead us back to the self within. So in that way also there is an eternal conversation where the higher intellect in us is guiding us to lift our false identification and come to realize the truth. So Gurudev always said that the intellect, purified intellect, is the Guru, and the mind, the lower mind, is the Shishya which has to drop and surrender itself. In and through the words, coming back to this, in and through the words of the Upanishads, we must learn to look and recognize the scene of a Himalayan valley bathed in the roaring music of Mother Ganga, where in the veranda of a thatched meager kutia sits a man of peaceful serenity, clothed in the glory of a joyous brilliance scented with peace. This is the picture Gurudev has described of how a student is in the kutia of a great master who has realized the truth, and how this master imparts this knowledge. This master, thrilled with his own inspirations, is pouring his heart's vital experiences to the thirsty in front of him, young, devoted, and divinely concentrated. Meaning that's the preparation, eligibility of that student. Now, this part is what is the indicator of the vairagya of the student, that such a student will understand what the Guru said. An ordinary seeker reaches the master's feet not in any sick hurry, dejected and disappointed in life because of his failures and tribulations. A mature student of spiritualism is not grown out of the mire of sad disappointments and failures. A potential seeker is not a runaway from life. He is one who had lived life intensively and well, and had discovered that even the very best that life could give him was but a charter of sorrow. This is vairagya, not pessimism. And no matter whatever life we have lived to the best of abilities, it can give only finite experiences. This that seeker has seen very clearly. This again should not be construed as a soul-killing pessimism. This dissatisfaction is not the expression of life's despair at failure, but it is a natural result when the individual comes to feel the greater life possibilities. That human life, I can do so much more, and I can realize the infinite truth. I can break from the bondage of the finite. That greater possibility is what drives, not some dejected disappointment and failure in life. Coming back here, but at that moment the seeker has no words to express either his feelings or the strange glory, shapeless yet glorious, that beckons him incessantly from all around and yet from nowhere in particular. It is a strange feeling, at once irresistible and almost choking. Thus, a typical student almost always reached the master's feet, having lived full having lived full and well, intelligently and sincerely, with a heart that is soaked with appetite to live vitally and fully. So, this is the state of that student, and more of this we will continue in our next class. In the Upanishad proper, there is no question that the student has asked, but Gurudev has assumed one, has created a scene and he has assumed that this is the question because that is the intent with which the student has gone to the teacher and the answer the teacher is giving. So that we will take up in our next class. Any questions for today? Yes. You have to unmute and ask. Okay. Kalpana ji.
Namaste Swamiji, little long question. You said Om iti etad aksharam idagam sarvam. Om is everything. Okay. Tasya upavyakhyanam. The explanation of this word Om is Bhutam Bhavat Bhavishyad iti sarvam Omkaram eva. Everything that lies in the past, present and future is all Omkar. Yachanyat trikala titam tadapi Omkara eva.
Yeah.
Besides this, whatever lies beyond time is also Omkara. That's what it means.
Yeah.
Now, what lies beyond time, Swamiji?
That will,
Besides consciousness.
that's also that consciousness is Om.
So, where is my avidya arising from?
Ignorance of that consciousness is called avidya, no? I don't know
Yeah,
that
but
I
where
am
is it
that
arising?
consciousness.
Yeah, but it has to exist somewhere, no?
That is our assumption, na, that avidya is real. If at all it exists, obviously it exists. The locus has to be Brahman only. There is no other separate locus of avidya, no? The locus has to be Brahman. So where is the ignorance of the waker lying? In the waker's mind only. The waker has forgotten himself and now assumed the identity of a dream creator using the power of dreaming and then projected the whole dream world. So if one asks the question, where is the locus of avidya? Locus of avidya then has to be Brahman only in that sense. That is assuming
And
avidya
Maya,
exists really, because existence, when we say exist in Vedanta, doesn't mean only relative existence. Now, exist means that which is there at all periods of time, it is changeless. That is existence. If we say in the relative world where avidya exists, locus you asked, so I'm saying it is Brahman only. Otherwise, avidya is in the mind of the jiva. I don't know who am I. So there, then we say avidya is in the mind.
and it is said that because of Maya, we imagine that the world exists. Now, Maya is Brahmashraya. Maya exists in Brahman only.
Correct. So it is because of Maya only that one is not seeing Brahman as Brahman and one is seeing the world as separate from Brahman. The dreaming power is what makes the waker eclipsed as though, and the person is not aware that I am the waker, and that same dreaming power is what is making that waker as the dream creator, and the dream world is projected and the dream character is also there, and that same dreaming power is making that dream character think that I am different from the dream world, I am different from the dream creator. So it is power of waker only, which is the dreaming power. Same way Brahmashraya Maya, that Maya only is making it appear. The changing, the changeless is appearing as the changing. One is appearing as many. Infinite is appearing as finite. Aghatita ghatana patiyasi Maya. That's what it is. That which has never happened, Maya makes it appear as happened. The Srishti which never came into being, Maya appears it as though it has happened. So it is the power of Brahman only which is making this happen.
So technically, I am doing nothing. It is all being done by Brahman only.
Who is that I? Ask that
Whatever is.
question. What is the definition of I there? If you say that everything is happening by Brahman, then you are that Brahman. Who is the
Yes.
dream character? Is that waker only, no?
Yes.
So that you only are projecting. So that's why you have the power to end the projection and wake up. The moment the dream character says, I am out of this dream, finished, he wakes up. The whole thing was not there. Waker is not going to realize separately something else. The dream character has to understand, I am the waker and wake up. That's the limitation of dream example. In the dream example, the waker wakes up. Then one realizes, oh, this was a dream. But in our context, it has to be clear that that's why that eligibility of the student and Vivek, Vairagya, Shatka, Sampati, Mumukshutvam to understand Vedant. Because with such a mind, then I can wake up. Otherwise, we'll say, oh, Brahman is doing everything. What have I to do? I have to do nothing. But that I have to do nothing is not possible anyway. And who is that I? Is that same Brahman only. People use this argument to become lazy, lethargic, don't want to do sadhana. He says, Brahman ka projection hai, main kya karunga? Whenever a Brahman wants to wake up, he will wake up. Till then, I will suffer. Are you are that Brahman, Baba. Don't think Brahman is some separate thing, some entity out there. That's what Vedanta is telling us. Right.
Thank you.
Pranam Swamiji.
Haan ji.
This is Shilpa Joshi. I have to ask you, one going beyond body consciousness, will he continue his sadhana in the higher level of consciousness? जैसे कहते हैं कि देही असोनी विदेही, तर पुढे साधना ती चालू राहते का? You have gone, one has gone beyond the body consciousness, but still the sadhana continues. Is it like that?
See,
Without the body.
what is the meaning of gone beyond body consciousness has to be understood. Because there are three bodies: gross body, subtle body, causal body, right? Now, if one says, I have gone beyond body consciousness, I can go beyond body consciousness taking nicely drugs, LSD, all that I can take, gone beyond body consciousness. So, that is for a short while. Same way, one can sing a bhajan and go into beyond body consciousness, one forgets I am this body. So, what is the meaning of that gone beyond body consciousness? I have to understand. If it is that one has dropped avidya fully, then there is nothing to do sadhana anymore. Because Atma Gyan has been realized. I am Brahman has been realized. There's all sense of duality finished, psychologically finished. But if that has not happened, till that doesn't happen, sadhana has to continue. Whichever level, one may be in a great Savikalpa Samadhi avastha also. Ramakrishna used to go into Savikalpa Samadhi, come back. Go into Savikalpa, come back. But till he did not realize the absolute and get abidance in Atma, his sadhana continued, na? So what is the meaning of going beyond body consciousness has to be very clear. Till one has not realized absolute Brahman, sadhana will have to continue.
Thank you, Swamiji. And the other one you said, as pure intellect will guide the mind. So this is within the body that your intellect has got purified, and then it is, guiding the mind for whatever the vikaras there to remove them or whatever that way.
Yes, that is the seeker inside. Now there are two parts in the seeker. One is the purified one and one is the impure one. So that is the sadhana that is happening to integrate finally that impure one has to go completely. Then one realizes there is only one Brahman. So all the sadhana what we are doing, even the knowledge which we are gaining is all we are getting from various sources, but finally it is a purified intellect which keeps guiding, and it is purified intellect meaning consciousness reflecting through purified intellect is the guru. Otherwise intellect is jada vastu by itself. It is made up of only 5 elements. So when we say the guru is the Atma, Ishvaro Guru Atmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine, that guru is the self. Guru is the one who is guiding from inside, meaning as the self reflecting through the pure intellect, as the voice of conscience, it will guide, saying this is the right thing to do, don't do this is adharmic, or this is the lower. So it will keep guiding. That is the understanding. So that finally the lower is completely sublimates.
Okay. Swami ji, so prajna jo hum kehte hai, that pure intellect is prajna, कि स्थित प्रज्ञा वो जो सेकंड
See,
चैप्टर में पूछा था.
no, so there we have to understand again. There sthita prajna means prajna, there is self, atma, not pure intellect. Sthita prajna means one whose wisdom is firmly established in the bhav that I am the atma. Sthita prajna yasya sa sthita prajna. Today our prajna is in the I am the body, I am the jiva. In that we are sthita. One whose prajna is sthit in the atma is called sthita prajna. There it is Atma. Prajna word there is indicator of the Atma, not of the pure intellect.
Very okay. Okay. Thank you, Swamiji, so much for the clarification. Pranam.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.